Well, hello, hello, hello. I just got done streaming over on Twitch, and it was fun. I think that's the main thing that matters is that it's fun. Um, However, now I'm just kind of over here now with a lot of different thoughts in my head, and there's a few things that I want to talk about that honestly have nothing else to do with anything else other than uh, some of the things that I have just kind of seen going around the YouTubes, as it were. And one of the things that I had seen that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, and probably we'll watch a clip as well. And I'm just going to stream it straight from YouTube. I know that my streams don't really like that all that much, and I totally understand why it doesn't. But honestly, I don't really care too much to put a whole shit ton of effort into it right now. So some of the things that I've covered before, and if it's not on this channel, it's on essentially my blog channel, I guess you consider it my vlog channel. Was one person in particular. Anybody who's been on YouTube, longer than 2 years is going to know who this person is. And, I'm not going to bring up any names right yet, because we will see the person in question, so we won't need to bring up any names. But one of the things this person had said was at the end of a particular gaming session, he talked about the game Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And he was mainly talking about the main character of this game. And yeah, it's going to be kind of important to to understand exactly how delusional someone can be. And the main thing about it is what he does is essentially compare apples to oranges, but he's trying to convince the audience that it's not apples to oranges, that it's apples to apples we're talking about, and it's just not the case. So I already know that if this person that we're about to see ever gets wind that I have done this particular video and have brought them up, because of the fact that I'm not going straight to their channel, they're going to immediately declare it as me being biased and not knowing the full context, and essentially just being a hater spouting hateful things instead of being someone who's honestly neither a hater nor a fan of this person. Now, much like someone else who I will bring up in a minute, I used to actually watch this person, not as a fan, more of just an interest, until I realized exactly how scummy that they are, and then I just couldn't do it anymore. So, give me just a second to pull this up and level this out for...
Are you ready?
Hulu on DSP.
And of course, there's an ad. Of course, there's an ad. Why wouldn't there be an ad? You gotta love them ads. Ads. They're so amazing. Alright, let me get this wonderful thing set up here so it doesn't look like complete garbage as we review it. Oh my god. I am beyond ecstatic that that I'm covering this and just getting it out of the way, because it has not been on my mind for like too terribly long. I kind of ranted to myself about it whenever I initially watched it and was okay. But I think sometimes that rant that you do to yourself needs to be out in the open. So that's what we're going to do. Oh man, I hate the fact that I just suck with OBS, but you know, anytime that I finally figure out exactly how to work OBS, it once again changes. So, it is what it is, I guess. I'm not going to show the client area. We just want to... There it is. Looks gorgeous, isn't it? I really wish that I could just shrink this, but I do not know how to do it, and quite frankly, yeah, it just is what it is. I'm not going to bother with fucking with it too much, because like I said, I'm just winging it at this point. Heavily winging it. I don't even know why that's there. Move that. That's nothing, so I can remove that. So we just want this. We take it down further. There we go. Wunderbar. So let's get this dude right here.
Last time I had financial freedom was probably 2014 when I moved out here. That was the end of it. Seriously, like 2014.
So if you now don't know, we're talking about the wondrous world and mind of DarkSydePhil. DSP, Dave Bennett, Phil Burnell, whatever you want to call him. Everybody who's a detractor, or quote-unquote detractor, I hate that term so much, but anybody who's against this guy calls him Dave Bennett, because he has a very hard time not liking people talking about him. It's kind of sad. You bring up his name and he'll immediately be like, oh, well, you're doxing me. You just said my full name. Yeah, because you've said your full fucking name many times. So don't even start. Alright. So just so you know, the video itself is silent for this part, just because there is a copyrighted song playing, and both me and Memology 101 DSP Tries It would not want to get their stuff immediately demonetized or limited monetization, just because of the fact that there's a dumb song playing at the end of a video game that Felipe here is about to go on about.
And all the fucking garbage people of the world can laugh and make memes. Sure. This.
Oh my god, that's one thing I absolutely love about DSP Tries It Memology 101 is is he uses Phil to talk shit on Phil. It's absolutely fantastic as far as that goes, and I will never ever talk bad about that particular creativity. That is always good to hear Phil talk bad about Phil in edits. It's amazing.
This game 100% was parallel with my life. With the amount of people who just sit there online saying awful things about me, trying to ruin my life, trying to ruin everything that I do, right? For what? For what, really? Right? All the shit that's made up. The whole Tatara channel with him and for me. You know what I mean? And here we are at the end, and I kind of felt that's what the ending was going to be. Infinite wealth. Because they don't get rich during the game. But what it is, they build these friendships, they care about each other, and at the end of the day, they feel like they're the richest people in Japan because of what they have. Well, no one else understands that, right? The same thing with me. I'm never going to be filthy rich, but I've got a great life that I have with my family. I've got an awesome stream that I get to do with you guys every single day.
Okay. Here's the beginning of this particular delusional thing that I had brought up that infuriates me to my core whenever it comes to this dude. For anybody who comes across this who does not know who the fuck DarkSydePhil is, DSP is, let's go down memory lane 101 real quick to give you a psychological look at this man thing in front of us, right? DSP, DarkSydePhil, is 110%. 110 fucking percent lying to you whenever it comes to this particular thing about money. Oh, it's called infinite wealth because they don't get wealthy in the game. Right. That's correct. They don't. With infinite wealth, they do not make a lot of money at all. The whole thing is supposed to be essentially about a dude who gets essentially blacklisted and talked bad about and whatnot in his home country, hometown, all that. And everybody believes the lies about the guy. He ends up having to leave and essentially has to start his life over. And along the way, there are people that he meets that he becomes friends with, and they understand and figure out, which DSP is going to cover this whole thing again, so hooray for repeating ourselves. Anyways, yeah, the gets a bunch of friends. They end up like initially hearing what was said about him. He proves them wrong. They stay friends with him, and long story short, whole point is that the wealth, the infinite wealth that he gets comes from all these meaningful friendships that he gets with these people. These new people become his new family, essentially. Now, that in and of itself is not in any way, shape, form, or fashion a parallel to DSP's life. And it never will be. DSP vehemently, every stream, multiple times a stream, whether it be his pre-stream, which I don't know why he has to divvy up everything, but whatever, whether it be his pre-stream, the day stream that he does, the break that he takes, or the night stream that he does later, every single one of them is sprinkled like confetti with these segments of, hey guys, I haven't got any contributions. Hey guys, I haven't got any tips. Hey guys, you all haven't sent me any super chats. Hey guys, you all haven't bought any memberships. Hey guys, you haven't gifted any memberships. Hey guys, you haven't done this with the memberships. Hey guys, you haven't done this with the channel. Hey guys, you haven't sent me money. That's literally what it boils down to, is, hey guys, you haven't sent me money, and I need the money, right? Dude has gotten the entirety of his bank log leaked to the internet. Everybody knows how much money this dude makes on top of any tips that he gets. Everybody knows. But despite everybody knowing that, he still tries to peddle this lie that he's constantly hurting for money, that if he doesn't get so much money during the week, whenever he goes on his day off, which is Thursdays, I think. It's Wednesdays or Thursdays. Whenever he goes for his day off with his wife, who he only sees like 1 hour a day, apparently. Unless it's a day off, then he sees her all day. But anyways, this guy who only sees his quote-unquote family 1 hour a day is only able to spend 1 hour a day with his family. If he doesn't get enough money, then he's not going to have the rewards or benefits of enjoying his day off, quote unquote, meaning he's not going to be able to go into town and go to the liquor store and buy more liquor. He's not going to be able to get DoorDash 3 times this week. He's only going to be able to afford 2. And any time that they get DoorDash, it's always anywhere between $50 to $80 a fucking time. Yet, he's hurting for money. How are you hurting for money? And on top of that, this guy is a self-admitted mobile game addict. Whenever he picks up a phone and he plays a mobile game, he has to drop money into whatever game it is in order to, I don't know, brag about how good he is in a mobile game. I'm not entirely sure how that works, if I'm going to be completely honest. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But if you look at the bank logs that have dropped on him, you would see that he has several Apple microtransactions that inevitably add up to thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. And those microtransactions that he takes are all from the Apple iStore and the iPhone store, the Apple store. And every single one of them goes into the mobile game addiction that he has. And what is the mobile game that he's addicted to, you ask? Well, let me tell you. He's addicted to WWE Champions. Oh, well, how do we know that? Well, during his interview with the Side Scrollers, he openly told them he still plays WWE Champions, that he has put less than $100, quote unquote, supposedly less than $100 into this game. Why would you put any money whatsoever into a mobile game that you literally just have to wait for your energy or whatever to reset, and then you continue doing it again? And WWE Champions, by the way, is literally just Candy Crush, but with animations. That's all it is. You do a certain amount of rows, and you get to see John Cena perform his finishing move. You do a certain amount of combos, and you get to that prestigious Hulk Hogan that you were able to buy earlier. Yeah, he'll do the big boot and leg drop. That's all it is. It's just a wrestling match with Candy Crush underneath. But he tries to say that the main character of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and him have a parallel story. You don't have a parallel story in any way, shape, or form. The dude is wrongfully bastardized on the internet. Everybody in his hometown, everybody in his home country ends up hating him because of these lies put out on the internet. You see there with what we just saw, he's walking through the streets and they're throwing garbage at him. And he's carrying somebody over his shoulder because that person can't walk on their own. And it was a little bit of a spoiler. Here in a minute, you're going to see that same dude get like the shit kicked out of him. He's going to get hits multiple times in the face, but he's not going to attack back because the videos that were against him basically called him like a violent criminal. So they would expect him to attack back, but he doesn't. That does not go in line with DSP at all. There's never going to be a time that DSP is going to be out in public looking like the weird goblin creature that he is, and people are going to throw garbage at him. He's had nothing ever thrown at him physically ever. The only thing that this guy has ever had flung at him is insults in comment sections and in videos. People have taken his worst moments of where he clearly doesn't know what the hell he's doing in any game and shown this dude does not know what the hell he's doing in any game, but somehow he fails upward in these games. And he's able to finally beat them. Some of them he doesn't, obviously, because there are a few instances of games where he just can't beat because they're too fucking hard. Bloodborne, the DLC of Bloodborne is one of them. And the other games that he has previously, as they call it, wage quit because he hasn't gotten enough support during his streams to keep playing them. And the dude can't have a parallel with this fictional character because the fictional character actually has, some honor. He actually has some good qualities about him. DSP doesn't have anything as far as good qualities go. The only thing that DSP has that could be considered a quote-unquote good quality is he likes to talk good about his family. However, the main problem with that is that he also takes that same family and uses them as a shield against everything. Hey, why did you wage quit 6 games in a row? Well, my family. Hey, why do you drink gin and other alcohol multiple days a week? Oh, well, because, my family. If I don't do this, my family's gonna lose I'm gonna lose my house, and I can't protect my family, and my family won't have a place to be. Jasper, his cat, was needing to go to the vet because he was very sick. And this dude, this pig thing that you see on the screen, didn't want to dish out the $300 or whatever it was to take his cat to the vet. And that's not to say he couldn't afford to do it, because at the same time this dude is pumping out hundreds of dollars into a mobile game. There is nothing good in any form or fashion about this guy. Let's continue on. I've ranted on for a while, so let's let this play for a while.
And I'm happy. You know what I mean? I mean, things aren't perfect, but I'm happy. And that's what a lot of people on the internet who just want to make fun of me all day will never understand. It doesn't matter what they say or do. Look at this. Look at the screen right now. Look at the subtitle. Like, this song is like word for word applies to me. I'm just happy with what I have. That's where my true wealth comes from. Not from money, not from internet popularity or fame, but from having things in my life that I love and appreciate, and knowing that there's people who love and appreciate me. That's where true wealth comes from in life, right? It's not about being at the top. It's not about doing the things that make you internet famous, popular, or wealthy. It's not about 10 years of failure. No, I'm way more wealthy right now in my life than I ever was in the last decade. You understand? But that's what people like them will never understand. They don't get it because they're losers. In reality, the only people who say stupid shit like that are jealous idiots. You know, right now, I've had incredible, overwhelming positivity and success in the last month and a half of my life, and people are so butthurt about it. They are so angry and butthurt. People who don't like me right now are probably typing away at their computers. I can't believe it. He reached another vest goal. How can he do that? Listen to how he answers this question. My butt hurts so bad. And they do it every single fucking day because they're losers. And they come on the streams and they try to derail, you know, and tough shit. They just sit.
Oh my God. If you have never heard like an entitled teenage person talk, that's like the very first insult that is flung out. You're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Oh, that's all they can do. They talk bad about me, and they provide good evidence for this bad stuff that I do because, you know, they're losers. He's in his 40s. This dude is in his fucking 40s, and he never left high school.
Sit there and they arbitrarily judge their own lives based off of wealth and internet fame and popularity. And they look at someone like me and they say someone who's just been made fun of so much that they think, wow, that guy's just, he's a loser, he's a lolcow. No, don't you understand? If you have to get popular by bringing other people's down, you're scum. I'm better than you, and there's nothing you can ever do about it. I'm never going to go away. I will always be around while people like that fail and falter and have these giant fucking controversies and things. I'm still going to be here. I've had enough. I'm not going to have anyone bitching about Final Fantasy VII. At all. Zero. Every complaint I get about it, I'm going to say, shut up, because I'm not killing my business over this.
Oh, God. I keep forgetting that ads happen. Alright, let's pause that real quick, and let's go over that last couple of seconds. Oh, I'm always going to be here. I'm not going away. Well, no, according to what I've seen for almost, 4, maybe 6 months now. Every single time that I see anything about you, whether it be from other channels or even from your own, you're talking about how your business is dying because you're wage quitting all these games. You're picking up games that you honestly don't understand or you never really had an interest in playing anyway. You're only doing it because your chat room that is filled with, I don't know what's wrong with them, to be entirely honest. I think that they suffer from SFS, superfan syndrome, where they vehemently come back and they support you for the only reasons of that they think that they're still seeing the same person that was uploading videos via a webcam on a tripod over a decade ago. That's basically what it is. And these people that, you know, the group that's vehemently against you calls them dense, and it's for good reason. The fact that you can go into any stream, look at the entirety of your chat, tell them shut up, they're pieces of shit, quit talking about this or that, you should only talk about the game I'm playing, never derail and talk about anything else, and essentially hold your chat in an iron fist that if they don't say anything about the game, they can't say anything at all. And you're wondering why there are periods of time in the recent past that you have looked at your chat and nobody has said anything. And that's because if they say anything about anything else, you immediately go, quit derailing. Why are you talking about that whenever I'm playing this game? If you ain't talking about the game, get the fuck out. That's why nobody wants to stick around. That's the reason why some of your biggest supporters as of recent have been dipping out, because maybe they finally woke up. Maybe they finally had enough. I don't know what it is, but whatever the case is, they're finally seeing what everybody else has seen for a long time and has been calling out. And you continue to just flail your hands at them and throw high school insults and think that you won, and you just proclaim victory whenever there is no victory to be had to begin with. You can't win a battle that you've already lost. Let's continue on.
Because I'm not all about that. I'm different. So go ahead and say what you want. I am wealthy. I'm rich. Just not in the way that you like to admit, because you can't fact in your head, your small-brained heads. You can never understand that there are people on this planet that think there's things more important than money or fame. They want you to sit here and...
You're not one of those fucking people, and that's the whole fucking problem that I have. You cannot, with a straight face, look at anyone who is worth their weight in salt, who has seen how you are, and say, it's not about, wealth isn't about money, it's about connections and friendships. It's never been that way for you. Never. Not once. You literally have pushed away everyone who is ever close to you because of money. Because you are too much of a cheap bastard to actually give people what they're owed and give them their dues. You look at the biggest supporters that you have, and the day that they're supporting you, they're the greatest person on earth. But the next day, if they say, well, Philly boy, I would really like it if you didn't play, if you didn't play this game, but instead play this other game where we could all join in. And you accidentally told the truth on yourself with that, because you don't want to do your quote-unquote community nights anymore because they don't make you any money. So tell me how you're still infinitely wealthy with friendships whenever money's continuously a factor.
Go money, like a fucking money machine. It's just not what I ever wanted to be. When I started on YouTube 16 years ago, not for a moment did I think I'm going to make a piece of content that's going to make me money or it's going to get me famous. Not once.
Bullshit.
Once. And never since have I had that thought.
Bull fucking shit. That is the biggest pile of horse shit I've ever heard come out of anybody's mouth. Never once did I make a video that I would ever think would make me wealthy or popular. Nope, that is not true. Not true in the slightest. You want to see how much Philly boy here cares about money? I'm going to give you a perfect example. Go onto YouTube and look up the day that DSP's little vest streak died. Look up that particular time and listen to him stick around like a crackhead, waiting for his dealer to come back for his fix, except for he's not a crackhead for crack, he's a crackhead for the dollar. He ended his stream and he said, well, I guess this is it, guys. Vest streak is over. He said, I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to leave. The stream kept going for 15 fucking minutes after he said that it was over. And that was because he was literally hanging around in the chat, hanging around at his computer, just with the whole end roll stream going, just with the end credits going. And he was waiting for somebody to suddenly come up out of nowhere and just slam dunk a tip that would let the vest streak keep going, because that was like the biggest thing on his channel for a while. Listen to that particular time and you tell me how what he does and what he says is not him wanting money. And I know that was before his current situation, but it's no different then than it is now. Now you can play a game like this and you can look at this actual honorable protagonist and you can be like, oh, there are some things that parallel me. This dude is definitely me. They must have made this game with me in mind. No, they didn't. Nobody made any game with you in mind. And if they ever did make a game with you in mind, it would quite literally be a simulator of a man sitting on a couch looking at a TV screen with a controller in his hand that every now and again kind of cranes his head over to look at a laptop to see if a dollar sign flashes up. That would be a game made for you. That would be a game made with you in mind. They did not make this game with you in mind, ever. There is no parallels to this, and any parallels that you try to draw is superficial.
I'm just happy to be me on the internet, and the fact that people care about me is amazing, and the fact that I have a loving family that supports me is fucking unbelievable. It is. I'm the happiest man. I couldn't be. The only way I could be happier is if I could provide more for my family and have.
The only way that I could be happier is if I had more money. That's literally what that is.
More time with them. That's about it. But
oh, I need more time with... No. That's not what you said.
I could be happier is if I could provide more for my family and have more time with them.
Provide more for your family, quote, unquote, means, translated over for those who are not suffering from some sort of mental issue. That means more money.
That's about it. By the way, how about this? I don't know what the fuck idiots are talking about with memes and shit. Oh, it's like, he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't follow your dumb fucking memes. So take your meme and shove it up your fucking ass, because I have the ability to make an observation that's factually fucking based. Oh.
Yeah. That's another thing that we have to address very briefly. I'm not the first one who's pointed this out. Whenever he was going on about it in his actual stream, after I think it was like after one of the first nights of playing the game and hearing the story, he was going on about, oh, this guy's like me, he's paralleling to me, and then the next day his chat there's people in his chat blowing up about it, and they were using the quote unquote, as he calls it, meme of, oh, he's just like me for real, and he gets so mad claiming that he doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. But if you didn't know what the fuck people were talking about, why are you getting so pissed off about it? If you don't know, why are you getting mad? Obviously, painfully obviously, he knew exactly what it meant, and he got mad because his own chat was calling him out on it. But, you know, as I said before, and as we have stated before, a lot of the people in his chat suffer from SFS, that superfan syndrome. So just as soon as Philly Boy says, you know, shut the fuck up and quit talking about it, everybody's got to shut the fuck up and quit talking about it. There is a very select few people in the circle of denthood who are able to continue to say what they want, and Phil won't say anything to them, or at least won't call them out on it, because they contribute every now and again. they pitch him $20 or $25 or $30 or sometimes even hell $50 or $100. Those people can come in and can say whatever the fuck they want for a period of time until Phil finally puts his foot down. But with that particular case, it's not really putting his foot down. It's a slap on the wrist, if anything. But I think a more proper analogy for that, though, is him standing across the street and yelling at them, and they can't really hear what he's saying because his yelling is too far away. But that's basically what it is. There's some people that can say whatever they want, and and it's fine. It's not until they break the community guidelines of YouTube or start being a little bit more cringy and edgy than what they should be, i.e. the infamous Canadian Kirk incident where Kirk was showing himself to be pretty racist and was saying racist things in the chat, and YouTube came down and booted his ass. But he's currently ban evading. He keeps coming back as different names, but it's obviously him because he hints at it in some form. I think his most recent one is Canadian Kirk Resurrected or something like that. Yeah, and he still comes back, and Phil's just like, "Oh, hey, welcome back, buddy. Glad your racist ass is back in the chat. Woohoo!" Because DSP himself has a tinge of that racist humor in him. So if he bans someone for being racist, he's going to be a hypocrite because he lacks racist humor. Although I don't know how that makes sense, but whatever.
I don't care about anything else, So hilarious to me that so many people, on this in the internet right now, they're working on it. Let's work on ways to make fun of Phil. Let's work on things that will expose his faults over the years. Let's work on this and that. It's all waste of time. It's all fruitless. It's all trash endeavors that don't mean anything. I will always be happy while those people will be fucking miserable because they have to make others look bad to get ahead. They have nothing positive to offer this world. And I do. And I'm happy for that. Okay? So thank you all for being along on this ride. And what I mean,
you have positive things to give to this world? You do? Okay. Whatever helps you sleep at night, I guess.
This game has been a parallel to my life. As much as these losers would like to make fun of me for trying to make that comparison, that is directly a parallel. Kasuga getting made fun of at the beginning of the game, being misrepresented on the internet, something he's totally not, right? And then all along the game, people not understanding that, even though things are going wrong, that he still believes in people, he still has happiness, But people who are miserable don't get that. They'll never understand that. They won't. And at the end of the game, infinitely wealthy, even though he's not, financially rich, he's wealthy because he has people who care about him and find value in him.
Oh, did you hear that? Armchair psychologist DSP here telling us exactly how other people aren't going to be happy and that they have nothing to contribute, all the while he's being positive.
That's being infinitely wealthy, right? And I have that, and I'm so grateful for that, guys. Thank you for that.
You don't have that. You will turn on everybody in your chat at a moment's notice the moment that nobody gives you $1 again.
Okay, let's finish this game.
Oh, he just like me. He just like me, for real.
Yeah, that whole copyright issue, I understand though. See, Phil literally thinks that this dude that's about to get hit is him. Now, you listen to the delusion come up here in a second. It's really interesting. It's fun.
Just keep beating him up, and he'll just keep smiling back at you. Just like me. Go ahead, beat the shit out of me. Say what you want about me. Do it. I don't care. I'm going to keep surviving. I'm going to keep on smiling right in your direction as I continue to be happy in my life and I disregard all the bullshit that you say, just step aside as I continue on my path and you just become an afterthought.
I'll continue moving forward as you just become an afterthought. Nope. Not at all. I'm going to tell you why. You want a little bit of quote-unquote armchair psychology. Well, let's look at Psychology 101. You wouldn't be able to go on a 10-minute rant about your haters and about your detractors and about people who talk bad about you and whatnot if you didn't think about them. Every single person who considers themselves against DSP and has openly made videos like this and others against him, he has seen at some point. You can guarantee it. I would not be surprised if in between his WWE Champions games that he plays, he goes on the internet and goes on YouTube and he ends up finding videos just like this and he sits down and watches them. And as he's watching them, he is seething. Absolutely seething, and his way to cope with it is to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to say that you all are an afterthought and you're losers. And there's nothing that you can do that stops me from having the infinite wealth of having the people in my chat love me. Yeah, you'll love the people in your chat, like Jinx here, who gave you $100 for this stream. But just as soon as Jinx decides that they're going to go disappear for 6 months, suddenly fuck Jinx, right? That's exactly the way it's going to be. There have been plenty of other hardcore supporters of yours who, the moment that they stop giving you $1, you've taken a shit on them. Over and over again. And I don't understand why those people would come back. If somebody openly, in front of hundreds of people, because one thing I will grant DSP, he does get hundreds of people in his streams, you know, and fair's fair. That's a good thing for him. Happy that he gets it. That's awesome. Anybody who gets hundreds of people in their stream, that's awesome. Aside from that, though, I would never in a million years accept an apology from anyone who would essentially tar and feather me in front of 100 people. I would never in a million years forgive someone who gives me a public tongue lashing in front of hundreds of people. It would never happen. I would never, ever forgive that person. I might forget them later down the road, just move on with my life, but I would absolutely never forgive that. I don't care how many times they came crawling back to me and asking me for $10, you know, so they can go and take their wife out to some sort of restaurant that they don't want to DoorDash because either DoorDash can't do it or, oh, this is a scheduled date day or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I wouldn't be able to forgive you and give you any fucking thing after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was posted 3 days ago. I think it's about around the same time that stream happened. And whenever I had watched it, you know, like I said, I ranted to myself about it, but then I was kind of like, yeah, no, whatever, after that. Because it didn't matter. But, no, I needed to I needed to cover that in some form because it is beyond delusional thinking to fucking believe that garbage. Way beyond delusional thinking. DSP is so delusional that he doesn't know what fucking delusional thinking is. That's just the way it be. Oh my god. So, yeah. Just wanted to get that out in the open. I'll probably end up editing the details of this later, so that way, you know, if it has the capability of reaching more people, it will. But long story short, I guess, and the whole point and lesson to be learned from here is don't be like DarkSydePhil, Philip the First. Please do not be like that. You can't in one breath. You can't out of one part of your mouth tell everybody that you don't need money. Life's not about money. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be popular. And then within the same token, tell everybody that, you know, hey guys, I'm not going to be able to eat this week if you all, or pay my bills. So that's what it always comes down to, isn't it? I'm not going to be able to pay my bills if you all don't throw me some super chats and some tippity tips because, you know, I'm starving to death. It's never that bad. Anybody who has seen your bank leaks know that it's never that bad. But I have heard through the grapevine that now you're planning on trying to file for a second bankruptcy. Don't know why the fuck you would need to do that, especially when you're making the money that you do now. Of course, you've said that, oh, you've lost thousands of dollars because of the quote-unquote RPG burnout. That's your own damn fault, bro. If you would just play the games that you want to play and not focus on what's popular at the time, you'd be fine. But you can't do that. You absolutely can't do that. The almighty dollar bends you to have to see what is popular at the time and go with that. And ultimately, I hate to say it. Actually, I don't hate to say it. That doesn't make you wealthy. That actually makes you the exact opposite. If DSP is anything other than delusional and other than hypocritical, DSP is the prime definition of a fool lost in their own beliefs. He 100% believes that he's some sort of positive force on this earth, whether he outwardly says it or not. But that's 100% what he believes. He believes that he is the greatest thing since sliced bread. He believes that his level of positivity, even though it's not really positivity, like I said, the most positive things that he does isn't even toward anybody else except for his quote-unquote family. They're probably the only ones who actually see any sort of positivity. And maybe in a way that's good, but that doesn't make him redeemable in any fashion. And I know there's quite a few people that don't like this guy who would say a lot worse things. One person in particular who I'm actually a big fan of is Super Crazy, and Super Crazy has openly said that he hopes the dude loses every fucking thing. That he hopes that he loses his house. He hopes that that Cat divorces him. That he loses his channel and all that. I'm not going to go out of my way to say that. I'm not going to wish it upon him. But I will tell you this. If it were to happen tomorrow, I'm not going to feel bad for him. The only person that I feel bad about, anything that has to do with DSP that I feel bad about, if anything did happen, is their cat. Old Jasper. He's the only one I would feel bad for. Because the fact that he has to deal with one delusional, narcissistic asshole, and the other one who I don't know exactly what her problem is. Maybe she's just too deep in that she doesn't see that she's too deep in the woods that she doesn't see the trees anymore. Maybe that's what it is. But I can guarantee you that old Philly boy doesn't tell her every single thing that fucking goes on with the money that he gets and the money that he spends. There's no way. Because I think any sane person, if they saw that they were married to someone who gets thousands of dollars a month and gets multiple other hundreds of dollars from people donating to them, if that person sees if a sane person, if they see that someone is making that much money, but then they suddenly start telling you that you can't afford the power bill, you're not going to be able to afford internet, not going to be able to afford the phones, and that's what they're telling other people, either one of two things is going on there. Either you're just dumb and left out of either you're just dumb, you're left out of the loop, or worst case scenario, and this might actually be the scenario. Worst case scenario is that you're in on it. And if you are, that makes you just as bad. But I keep my word on what I said about who I actually feel bad for in that household. And that's the cat. Cat did nothing wrong. Jasper can't go on stream for Phil and beg for money. He's just trying to be a cat living a cat life. And he has to deal with a narcissistic asshole. And worst case scenario, a contributor to that narcissistic asshole. Or a co-conspirator with that narcissistic asshole. But, it's whatever at that point. So, yeah. I've ranted for an hour. I think anybody who stopped by and anybody who's going to stop by later to view this, like I said, I will edit some of the details, try to get it a little bit more widespread if I can. But that's my opinion. It's my opinion on this whole thing. And the only thing else I could say about it is fuck Philip. Fuck you, Dave Bennett. Alright. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Do that YouTube thing. Check out any links that I have in the description. Check out my channel. Check the links there. Anything that you can do to contribute would be awesome. Don't have to, but any help is good help at this point. And any participation is good participation. But yeah. So enjoy yourselves. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night whenever you watch this. And I will